Richard, last week we watched the ITV Tonight programme Cashing In on the Elderly, Who to Trust, where you were interviewed by Ruth Dosworth about financial or economic abuse of older people. The programme highlighted many concerning issues affecting older people. We want to delve into the detail and continue this important conversation.
Yes, well, firstly, we have to commend the bravery of the victim survivors and their families and loved ones for speaking out. Their stories were truly harrowing, and their tenacity in pursuing justice is entirely commended.
In the past, the charity has reported that about a third of its work relates to economic or financial abuse. Have you an update on these figures?
Yes, we do. In the last financial year, 43% of our work involved economic abuse, which is a significant increase. While alarming, growth has been happening for many years, and this remains the most common abuse type affecting older people and reported to older people.
On the programme, we heard many examples of older people being robbed. Can you explain what financial or economic abuse actually is?
Yes, I can. Financial and economic abuse of older people can take many forms and can be perpetrated by many different people. Economic abuse of older people has been described as the crime of the 21st century, given the nature and scale of the abuse we see. Over the last 5 years, economic abuse cases received by the Hourglass 24/7 helpline show financial losses by older victim survivors across the UK totalling over 90 million. However, less than 20% of the economic abuse cases we received listed the financial loss, which illustrates the sheer scale across the UK. And economic abuse covers such a wide spectrum and can include the theft of money, jewellery, property, pressure to change wills, and the misuse of the powers of attorney. It can be taking grandpa's cash off the dresser, pocketing Nan's church collection envelope. It can be a son coercing his terminally ill parent to sign over property deeds, and even a family member discharging a terminally ill relative from hospital to take them to a solicitor to change their will when basically on their deathbed.
Why does this happen?
Well, it's a lot about greed, inheritance impatience, ageism. There is often actual or perceived vulnerability of older people, reliance on other people for care and support, especially around financial matters, which are increasingly online. But underpinning all of these factors is a lack of awareness and a weak response when abuse is identified.
Tell us what the charity sees and deals with on a daily basis.
We deliver Europe's only 24/7 free phone and confidential helpline, dedicated to the abuse of older people aged 60 and over. And that is supported by a number of online digital entry points for help, advice and support. Whilst last year's numbers are still being counted, we can confidently say we provided services to over 80,000 people, likely to be closer to 100,000 people when the final data comes through. We see the worst cases across all forms of abuse, whether that's physical, sexual, psychological, economic abuse and neglect. And in 85% of these cases, the abuse took place in the older person's own home. And in 64% of the cases, the abuse was perpetrated by a current or former intimate partner or an adult son or daughter. The Hourglass message is simple. Abuse of older people is taking place in every community across the UK, and we need to raise awareness about this and send a clear message that Hourglass is here to help.